So maybe, Lauren, just to start off with, we can kind of go through your story from the very beginning. So talking a bit about where you started off before you discovered drop servicing, that process of discovering online business and moving into that.
I came from a family of business people. We have physical stores and that's it. The brick and mortar services, and I have zero knowledge about digital marketing. We are in a logistic industry and distribution business in the Philippines. So that's how our business looks like. The margin for this business is already 8%. We could get 20% for laptops, and then for mobile handsets, we could only get as much as 13%. So imagine one iPhone would cost you like around $1,000 and more, right? But you will only be getting 13%. So it's like you have to buy a lot and then sell them bulk. So that's how we earn. But the problem there is the capital, which is really hard, but that's how it is in the retail industry. So yeah, I don't want to be stuck in that kind of business. And then I found your course. I was really sold and I will never go back to handling a brick and mortar company. What I did is also study the course for like 6 weeks since we're running the business up until 5 p.m. in the Philippines. So in the evening, I'm spending some time to understand your course because honestly, I have zero knowledge. So I'm just a simple beginner with zero knowledge with digital marketing. So I just built up a website that does everything. And I didn't know that it's going to be the best decision of my life. This is by far my favorite business model, which is the drop servicing, because I pretty much applied it to different kinds of like businesses out there, even in rental businesses, vacation rentals. And yeah, it's really multiple how I applied the drop servicing model.
Well, tell me a little bit about, after you joined the drop servicing blueprint, what was your process up until getting that first sale? And what was your kind of thought process and the actions that you took to get your first sale? Tell me that story.
My first sale happened, actually, it's in LinkedIn. I'm still like making sure that LinkedIn is going to be my main method of acquisition, because in the course, I still remember to like leverage, of course, the free methods. So I tried everything, the duck soup, Turbo, Snowvio, pretty much everything, the sales navigator. So my process, it's like I optimized my profile in LinkedIn. I was able to connect with someone in the furniture business in Mexico. He's just really asking for a logo animation. During the call, I discovered that there are a lot of problems a certain person can have. And that's where I learned how to do an upsell and cross-sell. So for just a logo animation that we are selling, it's just really around less than $1,000. And then we realized that we asked the right questions with the lead, which is, he wanted to achieve this by have a good brand presence online. So in that idea, the pitch was not going to just be like solving the problem. The logo animation is like a prerequisite for a client business. However, I'm not really solving the problem of the client, which is he wanted like enough brand presence. I realized that I will not be selling just the logo animation, but at the same time, the solution for the branding. So we actually sold him like a social media kit, and not just the logo animation. We managed the platforms, and at the same time, we created videos for his business, including for the branding and identity package, brochures as well, because since this is a local business, what he do is direct marketing for his furniture business in Mexico. The logo animation has been converted into a real solution-based approach. I realized that if you're pitching something to somebody and then they wanted to book a call with you, it's really a big opportunity for a freelancer or a drop servicer to know what is actually the trajectory that client wanted to achieve. That's what I learned. That's why every time we pitch, it doesn't mean that we're just selling like an animation or like a PR service to a client. Because if they're in the call with you, there's so many ways to ask and know what they wanted to achieve. That's my secret why we are always and going to be forever high ticket agency, because we discover during the call and we do not do the pitch upfront. We will literally ask the questions during the call and then ask them what they wanted to achieve, what are the current problems. So that's the process in my starting stage of my business. So yeah, everything in the course has been implemented on my end. And that in such time, I learned a lot of strategies along the way to save me some overheads, at the same time increase the value of my service and increase the level of acquisition for my company.
Yeah. I think that's really crucial because a lot of people get so caught up and focused on selling one individual service on the call with the client when there's so much more value to be generated by actually asking the right questions and providing
right.
a range of solutions. And I think, and how long did it take you to get that first sale? Because I think it was pretty quick actually, huh?
It's within 6 weeks to
Yes.
get my first sales. I will never forget that. But building and understanding the horse, that's the challenging part of my journey because again, I have zero knowledge. I don't have experience in digital or anything online. So I bought the course, I think around April. Then when we launched it August 6th, I got the client same month. August, and then I learned how to like apply the drop servicing model to different kind of service. But I realized I wanted to find a quality clients that are ready to buy. These people are not easy to find, but if you have methods in place and if you understand the industry, you will really dominate it. The best decision that I did is to like offer one service first and then gain their trust, get them in a call, make them happy, deliver the service, and you will be getting a lot of project from that person. Because my clients in the healthcare industry, typically they will just like order one service. And then since we're asking the right questions, it means that we're gaining their trust. That's the time that we can pitch an original 12.5K project, go as high as like 35K and more. So the main goal is to make the client happy first in the first contract. And then if you gain their trust, you can ask for referral. It's like unstoppable because right now it came to the point that I'm actually terminating clients if I don't like them. And at the same time, I'm qualifying the clients to work with.
So once you got that first sale, talk to me a little bit about the process from going from there to where you are now, where you have a pretty big business. It's pretty automated as well. So I want to learn a little bit more about that process because it's pretty interesting.
So when I got that 8K sale, I reinvested everything in marketing. How I reinvested it is I tried every tool I learned in your course. Right now, for example, my company can actually pay for like 16K Zoom info subscription. And that's where we get our exclusive data to dominate the market. So right now I could charge 9.5. That's my minimum package. If people will ask me how I was able to charge 9.5K, what I'm selling are recurring services. So it's not just like a project-based service, but at the same time, the more solution that you could give and the more problems that you could solve for your clients, that's actually my secret in closing the deal.
Yeah. Okay. It's really interesting as well. Like I really like your story because, you know, you were getting that first lead for your first sale. It was like $1,000, but then you turned it into like an $8,700 sale just with a few upsells. And now you've got so many different services that you're offering. So what kind of revenue numbers is your business doing right now?
One client that we could get, since our cheaper service is 9.5, my web design and development package starts with 12.5. At the same time, we could do the upsell. That's why one client with us, the average order value would be more than 20K. Mm-hmm. So that's why we don't need much clients in a monthly basis. We're looking for the top 1% that are ready to buy because we do not want to sell cheaper services that would take so much of our time in order to sell it in bulk.
It's interesting too. Like in terms of your like personal life as well, it seems like these days you're able to get a lot of your own time back and, you know, travel a lot more and do a lot more with you.
Yeah. At the same time, moving for good to England.
Yeah. What's that like?
Europe is a bit expensive before. I'm just traveling, but right now, I pretty much like moved here in Cambridge. I'm thriving. It's because of the business. I really like to build something that I can bring anywhere, since I really travel a lot.
It's crazy as well. Like it's such a big cultural change going from Manila to the UK as well. Like so different. Yeah. And it's so cool to see you build this massive business in just a few short years, really. So I wonder what it's going to be like in the next, 2 years. I think exponential from here for sure. I just wanted to hear a little bit from you in terms of, people thinking of joining the drop servicing blueprint or starting a drop servicing business. What would your main recommendations be for them in terms of the implementation as a beginner when they're getting started? What's the most important tips you have?
I've seen the results of other students and I'm comparing myself. they were really faster in generating the result in less than like 90 days. So my recommendation would be study their market, choose one service, and at the same time, choose a good price point. The very important thing for me is to choose one industry first. If only I knew that healthcare is a really good market to be focusing on, it's because I know the jargons here. I'm a medical practitioner. I'm a licensed nurse as well. So I know how to communicate. I know how to grab the attention of people in the health tech industry, digital health or so. I think mastering one industry is the solution. I have this question being asked by the drop servicer if the market is saturated. It's not really true. It's not true. It will never be true. For example, healthcare industry have thousands of subcategories on it. You could do digital health, health tech, you could do med tech and things like that. And under these subsectors have different subcategories as well. It means that the healthcare market, no matter how much I wanted to like saturate it, it's not really possible at all. So my advice with the drop servicer is to pick not one industry, but a subsector with a specific subcategory and start from there, because the buyers now actually look for massive social proof. So if you show them that you are like a specialist in their sector, I believe it's going to have a higher chance for the drop servicers to have a good appointment and higher conversion, because the system is really working. The drop servicing model is really working. I believe that is really a good starting point, because that is one of the biggest mistakes that I did, like to be a generalist.
Do you have any kind of final words of wisdom to leave with people before they start their business?
I always advise these students to always check the course. It's because I enrolled to so many like digital courses, but it's really a rip-off. This kind of course is really the real deal. It's really detailed. I don't think that there is another drop servicing course out there that could like cover everything that you need to learn to help someone like me. Because I have zero knowledge about digital marketing, but these course is like a crutch for me to like know whatever that needs to be done in the digital marketing world. But at the same time, this course will teach you like to gain your client. These courses have the step-by-step process. Just follow the course, because since inside the course, we have like different coaching schedules as well, that they will be guided and they could like post unlimited questions in the group as well, and they could learn from others, because aside from me, there's so many successful individuals inside that course that are really excelling in their chosen niche and chosen service. So there are many others that they can gain access from in this drop servicing VIP community. This is by far my favorite business model. The words of wisdom would be, if they wanted to change their lives, the call to action would be to just grab this course, because it really changed mine. I didn't realize that in just a matter of 2 to 3 years, I could like able to achieve what I'm just dreaming of. I'm based in the Philippines before, but right now I can afford to live with, a very expensive city. You could pretty much get your ROI in less than 90 days. There are a lot of people that would justify, that will prove that this course are really working. And we're enjoying it here, having these like colleagues as well running their own businesses. So the course is way, way cheaper compared to the sale that you will be generating. The course is beyond like being a course, because you have unlimited access with the community. We're growing together. And at the same time, we're not pretty much really competitors here. The industry is really massive to be saturated. It's like, even though you post any kind of questions within 24 hours, your question will be answered by somebody. The course is the technical step-by-step process of building the drop servicing business. And the community support is alongside with the technical aspect of the drop servicing. If you combine it together, this makes drop servicing blueprint very special. It's a bargain. That's it. You're not going to be alone in running the business that you wanted to pursue.